Now we go over to development of the embryo. I told you that after fertilization, the zygote is formed. Then what happens to the zygote? The zygote goes on dividing repeatedly and it forms a ball of cells. These cells again then forms groups, it forms tissues and organs, and this is called the embryo. The embryo then gets stuck or embedded to the uterine walls or walls of the uterus in the female body for further development. The embryo continues to develop in the uterus. It develops the body parts like hands, legs, even the brain starts getting developed, heart, ears, eyes, etc. That stage of the embryo in which all the body parts can be identified is called the fetus. And when the development of the fetus is complete, the mother gives birth to the baby. But in animals that undergo external fertilization, the development of the embryo takes place outside the female body and the embryos continue to grow within their egg coverings. After the embryos develop, the eggs just hatch and the newborn ones come out. You can just look on the screen how the fetal growth and development takes place during pregnancy. Okay, so this takes about 40 weeks and by 40 weeks, the process is almost complete. Okay, so in the beginning stages and all, it was just a small fetus. And after the 4th month or 5th month, it starts developing all the parts and all. And by the time the development, the birth time comes, the baby is fully developed. Now we go over to two other terms, viviparous and oviparous. You're all quite familiar with these words. The animals that give birth to young ones directly, they are called the viviparous animals, and those that give birth by laying eggs, they are called oviparous animals. We are viviparous because we can give birth to our young ones directly, whereas the animals that give birth by laying eggs, they are called oviparous animals. So oviparous animals lay the eggs that hatch. Viviparous animals give birth to live animals. Okay. So now we come to the topic metamorphosis. What is metamorphosis? It is a biological process, I told you, where the changes are taking place in a sequential manner. That means the animal physically develops after birth or hatching, and it has got relatively fast changes taking place in its body through cells and through differentiation. Now we go over to asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction does not involve two parents, it just involves one parent. So only a single parent is involved. Two major examples, two most important examples for you all to study this year are that of hydra and amoeba. In each hydra, there might be one or more bulges. Bulges are actually outgrowths and they are called the buds. And in hydra, the new individuals develop as outgrowth. And since new individuals develop from the buds, that is why the process is called budding. Another method is found in amoeba, that is called binary fission, which I explained to you in your video modules. There also the body parts divide into two parts, or the body, first the nucleus starts dividing and then the cytoplasm divides, and from one single amoeba, two daughter amoeba are formed, and this is called binary fission. The examples of asexual reproduction you can see on the screen. The first one's example is amoeba. Second one is hydra. Third one is also hydra. The last one is again yeast, development in yeast. So these are some examples of asexual reproduction. Now, what is a test tube baby? Yeah. In some cases, in some women, the oviduct or the fallopian tubes are blocked due to some reason. So they are not able to bear babies normally. So in these cases, IVF or in vitro fertilization is done, by which freshly released eggs from the mother and the sperms from the father are kept together for a few hours in a test tube. And once they start developing, then the zygote is then taken out and then it is placed in the mother's uterus and the baby is born in a normal manner. So this is called test tube babies. What do you mean by implantation? The close attachment of the embryo within the walls of the uterus where it gets proper nourishment is called implantation. So with that, we come to the end of this chapter. Go through all the modules and underline and understand the key concepts of this chapter. Thank you.